so much for coming along. This is episode 29 of The Healing Hut. I am approximately, 90%, 95% done. On this episode, I start out with, I had surgery on my left shoulder, so I had to use just one hand. So it slowed things down, but I got my baseboards done throughout the cottage. I got my balusters, Bavarian type balusters for my deck. You saw as you're flight in. I'll show you more of that as we go along. That was really hard to do with one hand, but I got it done. And then the last thing, I built my stairs. I want to thank you for coming along. Last time, for some reason, my viewership went from about 100 up to, if you look at all the venues, about 1,000 people. And I don't know if you're coming back or not, and I don't know why you're here. I don't know if you, I doubt if there's many carpenters trying to learn anything, because I don't know what I'm doing. I think there's a fair amount of multiple myeloma patients who want to come and see how I'm coping with my disease. But anyway, for whatever your reason, thanks so much for coming along. Come on here where it's a little bit quieter so you can hear what I'm saying. I'm cleaning off the area where the baseboards are going to go. It's got some concrete bumps. I need to clean it off. So the baseboards. It's a nice day out here. It must be pushing 70. Oh, did you find another one? Oh, wow. We moved the sink to get out of the way because I'm going to cut wood for the baseboards. But I let the chickens out, which has always been fine. And when I walked in the house to get Denise to help me move the sink, there's a coyote standing right here, and the chickens were dispersed. Oh, you're only missing one now? Yeah. Oh, those chickens were traumatized. Anyway, so here's my old wood. I'm going to pull nails out with my one arm, cut the edges off. I was just thinking this morning, I'm trying to find a way to talk about some things without people thinking I'm feeling sorry for myself. But something that everyone who's had cancer and some other diseases that rely on lab tests to tell you the state of things, there's a discussion on the Multiple Myeloma forum, one of those, about how do people deal with that. You know, I've been at this 7 years. So each month you're going in to find out if your cancer is back. Multiple myeloma never goes away that we know of yet. And you finally have to get a way to just adjust to that. And I, at one time, so I've been at this 7 years. The first 3 years were horrible. I was out of control. We tried thing after thing that didn't work. And so we just started a new program. Maybe the program on now, I can't remember. And I was sitting at my computer one day and getting ready to click on my lab results on my patient portal. And it just dawned on me, I mean, this is not self-pity. This is just thinking about things. I thought, okay, I'm getting ready to find out, because I'd already failed several things. I'm getting ready to go through a process of severe suffering and death over the next few months. Or if I finally responded to something, I may have another chance to live a few years. And I just, sometimes I just express myself out loud. And I was sitting there writing on in Facebook, and I wrote, it's surreal. I think this is the exact words I said. It's surreal. I'm getting ready to click on a mouse and find out if I'm going to suffer and die in the next 4 months, or if I'm going to have a chance to live longer. That's the factual reality. That's all I said. And within minutes, someone who I barely know wrote, obviously, you don't know Jesus. I go, what? And that was so, that's just this thing I think I've talked about before. I can't remember what I was spoken to on the video and what I've written in my book about. There's this fear, this phobia of self-pity, and religious people are at the worst at it. That, I've heard stories, grandma died from cancer, but she never said a word. She was a real saint. She went to the grave, and I think that is so sad that grandma didn't feel that she had the freedom to talk about her suffering. with the fear, you know, that somebody's going to accuse her of having self-pity. Of course, self-pity can consume someone, but it's part of the normal human emotion, just like anger, depression. And I'll show you what I'm working on here. I'm creating baseboards. This is Dutch lap wood is on the exterior of a big building, a 105-year-old building, I think it was. It's called Dutch lap, so it tapers down anyway. So I'm using that taper to help create an image of a baseboard. But I want to comment, if you look around, all my wood is either old wood or where the architect requires new wood, that wood there, and the beams up there. What I've done with the new wood is I've stained it with simply vinegar and steel wool, and it's consistent. And then what I've done with my old wood, like the windows, the doors, and now this baseboard, is this product here. It's a Dutch oil, I think it's called. No, Danish oil. Sorry, Dutch people. It's Denmark, Danish. And I'll show you what I'm doing inside. I know it's noisy. Very careful with come in. Today is first day of fishing season. If you can see, there's a few boats on our lake, and that's about the only time in the year that we have any traffic on our lake. It's a 1,100 or 1,200 acre lake that we have all to ourselves. I'm working on baseboards. I get those done. I just put this one up. I spent most of the morning in the bathroom because this was complicated. I had to do some trim work in here. Can't wait to just clean things up, but it doesn't make sense. I keep cleaning and then get it dirty again. The other thing, I took a week off. You know, I'm out of my sling for my shoulder. I had surgery now a little over 3 weeks ago. But because I couldn't do much work out here, I took the week off and took the train down and helped my daughter wire her house, part of her house. I have a few moments of celebration. I would not know how to do that. But I had wired these three-way lights, turned the kitchen lights on here, turn them off over there, turn them on over there, and turn them off over here. I'd watched video after video, wired it all up, turned on the power, and it popped the circuit breaker. And I thought it was my three-way lights. So I came back and I rewired my three-way lights 2 or 3 times, and it popped the circuit breaker. So finally I started looking around to every outlet, and I found one, and now I can't remember, it's either that silver one or one of these white ones. The wire had come out of the black wire, the power source wire, come out and was touching the neutral, and that was causing the outlet or the short. And I fixed that, and then my three-way lights didn't work. Finally, I got them to turn on one end, but not the other, vice versa. I watched video after video. It's like quantum mechanics, sometimes trying to sort this out in your mind. So I finally watched a video. So here's this side. We have lights. And I come over here. And I say, okay, I'm going upstairs. Turn the lights off. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to finish after a month. These baseboards. And then I'm going to move upstairs and do baseboards in the loft. I also started working on my railings for the deck. I'm making Swiss-style balusters, if you know what that is. They're called sawed balusters. I don't have any to show you right now. You can look it up. And I do have, the guy has a portable sawmill that cut a lot of cedar. And I have some flat cedar pieces that I'm going to start, I think there's one over here, and start showing you. I just made a template yesterday for these balusters. They're, the Swiss and Bavarian area of Germany are quite decorative in some of these things. Oh, here it is. These are the boards I got from the guy's sawmill. So I'll be cutting designs in those, and you stack them right next to each other. The goats are out sunning themselves. So Monday is my once-a-month visit to get my labs done to make sure, hopefully, that my myeloma is still in remission. And also get my treatment of DRT back. this, of course, is just my template. Balusters will be made in this cedar. But now I'm just trying to figure out a way to cut this, or to use a router. It didn't work when I used my router with a large bit. It splintered terribly. Factory for my railings. I'll show you what's going on here. I just put stain on these balusters. I've for years have been hooked on Bavarian or Swiss style architecture, and they use these flat sawn balusters, and I copied this from a Swiss chalet I saw online. And so this factory, these are some of the boards that's going around it. I got my son's, my router requires 2 hands. I did use it, but it was something I regret. I mean, I didn't do anything bad, but I could have. My son has a router that I can hold with 1 hand, and that's working out okay. They're very laborious because first I have to, here's my template, this plywood template. I have to cut with a jigsaw as much as I can, and then I have to screw it together, drill holes in this to make access for the router bit, and then I can only do 2 at a time. That's how long the router bit is. So very laborious. So I do have something to show you, because I do have my very first panel up, and you'll get a clue. If you live in Washington State, you're familiar with these in Leavenworth, but that's what the look I'm going for. And so I'm hoping to do a section of this railing every day for the next 6 days to finish this, I hope. And then I can move on to the other projects I've been talking about. I was thinking, since I have to do everything with just my right hand, have you ever seen these fiddlewood crabs that have this one giant claw and then the other one's sort of puny? I think I'm going to end up with a massive right arm and a puny left arm. This is a little funny. We don't usually have rain this time of year, and my wood stack is now uncovered, and I cut boards for I'm trying to finish my balusters today. And the last boards I'd pre-cut were the wrong length, so I had to go and get boards out of my pile, and I need to put stain on them before I put them up if they were wet. So I'm making use of my sauna this morning. Hope nothing's on fire to dry out my boards. Whew, it's warm in here, and I think it's working. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. These boards look dry. Yep, they're dry. But I was thinking about this morning, when you have someone like me who likes to build things, who's not very talented in it, and a wife who's very, very frugal, I have to find out ways to save money. And I was thinking about this sauna. There's a split rail cedar factory over on the mainland that had closed down, and they had a big pile of split rail cedars. And I took those and I was able to refashion them into a sauna, which I don't use so much anymore. But the first couple of years when I had I still have multiple myeloma, but when I was first sick, man, I froze all the time. And I still have trouble with cold intolerance, but I built this sauna so I could sit in it. And I wrote the book, Stones of Yemen, in that sauna and turned it way up. I think I may have mentioned that before. Anyway, my point. I have a spider nursery on my deck railing since yesterday. I thought they were little gnats, but they're baby spiders. Greta, honey, I can't get any work done. She comes out here now every 30 minutes for a petting session. I'm coming, Greta girl. How can I get work done? Do you have to be petted every 30 minutes? What happens if you don't get petted? Oh, you want a tummy rub? Okay, I'll give you a tummy rub. How's that? Is that better? Ooh, I'm sorry. You got something on your hair. Okay, can I go back to work, Greta? Let me get some work done, okay? I'll come back. I'll pitch in a little bit. Oh. Honey, just relax. I'll be back. Just relax in the shade. Watch me. Then I'll come back and pet you in a few minutes, okay? Okay? Good. Animal parenthood. It's a lot of work. My goats. Goaties, you doing all right? Must be. Okay, where was I? I am transitioning from my deck, which I have done. My one-arm deck. I pay wood on top, cedar at the bottom. I put in some flower boxes and plant flowers tonight to give it that Bavarian Swiss look, looking out at our mountain. It's always been a fantasy of mine to live in Switzerland, so here's a little piece of Switzerland here. I'm getting ready to start. I am working on my stairs, and the first thing I did is measure. I'm going by the blueprints I have here. The details about stairs is pretty limited. It's got some measurements, some information about how I'm supposed to build it. The first thing it said, it defaulted that the distance from the concrete floor to the floor of the loft would be 8 feet, and it said the contractor, me, at the site will have to adjust that in the doing the trig on that stairs. But I put this down and I could not believe it. Look at that. That's exactly 8 feet. So I must have done something right in building this cottage, that a measurement came out not 1/32 or 64th over or under, is 8 feet exactly. So I have my stringers I'm working on up here, and I'm starting to mark. I'm not going to cut them out. There's probably a name for it in the zigzag fashion of stringers. I'm going to be, this is my spacer for the steps. According to the blueprint, there should be 10 steps. And I got the angles correct. I used my trig this morning, computing all I knew was the height of the step and how much each step was behind the step below it. So with those numbers, I was able to come up with an angle to cut the bottom of this. I hope my trig's right. It's been a long time since I had math. So I'm gonna do these markings, and I'm hoping to route out a 1/4 inch thin track for some steps. I'm also hoping to use some old wood of mine. It's old growth, full 2 inch. The other thing is I built a concrete sink and I didn't like it, and I was starting to think about another one, but then this one came for sale. It's a very old but very functional, glazed. My wife will like that much better. It's just large for a small cottage, so the whole kitchen is going to be centered around that sink. I went and picked that up in the mountains near Seattle on Friday. And I'm going to show you this wood I'm going to use for my steps. This came also from a house in Seattle, an old house like built in the 1800s. A carpenter had torn this out and salvaged the wood for me. The only problem with it, if you see this wood here, you see the black dots. That's the nails, rust around nails. So working with this old wood with nails in it is a problem. They do make a saw blade that cuts through nails, and I may get that. I don't have it in my saw right now. I'm hoping to turn this into steps, this old wood. So that's what I'm working on today. And then I don't know what happened, but the last video I made, episode 28, I had 700 visitors. It's normally anywhere from 90 to 200. So I do not know what happened. And it's sort of a working backwards with this, but it's like more people that come, then the better I should make my video. My new and I do have a lot of footage this time. I'll try to. I'm just doing a fitting right now because I got to do more work on it. You can't put screws in from this end, so I have to put it outside. My wife and I can barely lift it, so when we put the full ladder in, I need at least one more person to help me. My son, I hopefully can. But anyway, I'd already planned to burn this today if it didn't fit, so I don't think I have to burn it. I think it's going to fit. It's not, I mean, it's wider, and but it's not a lot different from my old ladder, but this one's code. The other one wasn't code. Hi there, so I finished this episode. I had 3 objectives. One is baseboards, which I did here in the loft. The railing I did one-handed, got that done. And then the stairs. So the stairs are done. I just put finish on them. They're still wet. The one thing that I like about doing things that look old is that it can be rough. Because I'm not a very good carpenter. Here's the stairs. Stairs are quite narrow, but this is the way the architect drew it. And we could have made them wider, but I followed his directions exactly. He calls it a ship's ladder, which makes more sense because it's steep and narrow. The next episode, I can't lay stonework according to my doctor until July 1st because I had his bicep transposed, moved over. I have my stones. I'm going to start working the month of June on cleanup of the site. Try to get rid of some extra wood. Try to organize, clean up. I'm going to prep this area. I got to move everything out of this area. This is where the stonework is going to start. I might work on my cabinet, my countertop a little bit. The top part of this is going to be wood. I may go ahead and put the siding on up here and there, do a few things like that. Another big thing I need to do is build a platform in the back for my scaffolding, because when I do stonework back here, I got to go way up, and you can't do it on a ladder. It's got to be scaffolding, but this hill you'll see drops off dramatically. I thought about building another deck, but that would be expensive, and so anyway, I think I've decided to build a temporary platform out to here to set the scaffolding on to be able to reach those areas, and that's where I'm at. Thank you guys for coming along. I mentioned before that I had 1,000 views this time. I don't know what happened there, and it may not happen again. But just, I know some of you come because you're interested in the cottage itself. A lot of you come because you're interested in me, and I'll take that as a personal favor, or anyway, just thank you for doing it. So you guys have a wonderful June. I'll see you in July.